As with any channel dedicated to reviewing entire libraries of retro video game consoles, we've certainly tackled our fair share of Mahjong, shogi, poker, etc. But one card game that's not come up, surprisingly, is Hanafuda. I say surprisingly because Nintendo as a company was not originally founded in the 1970s or something, as you might think, but actually from the late 1800s, and it was not video games, obviously, but Hanafuda that they specialized in. The game's not really like any of the aforementioned. If you want a Western comparison, I suppose the closest thing might be something like Gin Rummy, where the aim is to assemble various card combinations called yaku in your hand. It uses a unique deck of 48 cards, which are arranged into 12 suits of 4, with each suit representing a month of the year. Hanafuda cards, which is a bit of a pleonastic redundancy, as Hanafuda translates to flower cards, so that's like saying flower cards. Anyway, each suit of 4 doesn't have numbers on it, but rather similar themed patterns that represent the month they're based on, with a central flower or tree theme, such as pine in January or cherry blossom in March. Within each suit, there are also different point values of cards as well, with each one having, usually but not always, 2 of its cards be worth 1 point, and others within the suit possibly being worth 5, 10, or 20. So some suits may be more prized than others, such as December, which is made up of 1 20-point card and 3 1-point cards, or August, which has a 20 and a 10. There aren't really any hard and fast ways to remember what cards are worth what, as they're solely pictorial. In fact, it can be tricky to even know what card belongs to what suit at first, which is a problem when the object of the game is to pair them up. I'd certainly have a guide open while you're playing this until you're used to them. It's a 2-player game, and the dealer per each hand is whomever won the last hand. Each player is dealt 8 cards, and also 8 cards are placed in the center of the play area, with the rest of the deck face down as a draw pile. You take it in turns to create card combinations, which is done by matching a card from your hand to one in the middle that has the same suit. This pair is then placed face up in front of you, or if a pair cannot be made, you discard a card from your hand by placing it face up in the middle. Whether you've matched or discarded a card, you'll next take the top card from the draw pile, and if that too matches with a card in the middle, you can make a second pair. If it doesn't, this drawn card is then placed into the middle, and play moves over to player 2. There are other rules too that you'll just have to learn. If 3 of a suit are face up in the middle part, and you have or manage to draw the 4th from that suit, you can take all 4 cards and place them in your point total. Now, it's not just matching pairs you're trying to make. In fact, the pairs don't really mean anything on their own. There are certain special card combinations called yaku that are your ultimate goal, really, and the hand can end when a player has made a yaku. They all have their own names, such as Goku or Hanamizake, but I won't go into that. Each combo is not suit-specific as such, but they have a rule that they must follow. The most simplistic of these is where you've collected 10 1-point cards, but they can be as complex as matching 2, 3, 4, or even 5 very specific cards. You could earn a yaku by matching the boar, the deer, and the butterflies, for example, or all the cards with the Tanzaku paper on. Again, there's no easy way to learn these. You'll just have to have a cheat sheet to hand to keep track of what you're going for, and just be grateful that the AI doesn't complain if you take 3 minutes over a turn. Generally, though, the more specific the combo, the more points you'll get for it at the end. Should you manage to make a yaku on a turn, then you have a choice. You can end the hand right there, which adds all the points from the yaku you've made to your running total. Then you start over with a new hand. Or you can delay the end to try to earn further combinations by calling koi koi, which sort of means come on. However, if your opponent makes their own yaku from this point on before you make another, they can end the hand and you'll lose your undeclared points. If you manage to have 7 or more points in total in your yaku when you declare, it'll get doubled. But this is, of course, risky, as it's hard to get to that point without your opponent declaring first. Should play reach the end of the deck with no one able to call, the dealer will get 1 point and you'll start over. Dealer privilege, I think they call it. Generally, you'll carry on for 12 rounds, with the points total being tallied up as you go, but you can change all of this in the settings if you want. Now, of course, this is only the most rudimentary explanation of Hanafuda that I can give without overwhelming you. Suffice to say, there are plenty of other rules and intricacies to the game. As it pertains to the actual video game we're looking at here, there's not really a lot to say. It's a near perfect representation of Hanafuda. Certainly no complaints here. It's a fun card game with a lot of history that's been video gamified, to coin a phrase, pretty well. The artwork on the cards is decent and matches the traditional deck design excellently. Having a bit of control over the rule set is a nice touch, and there's even a tournament mode you can work through if you're up for it.